The AFC North is already sealed, but there is one more AFC North battle yet to be settled here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both teams know the stakes, and AFC playoff positioning is on the line. The Bengals fully know it. They treated their last few games like they were playoff games, in similar do-or-die situations, thrusting Joe Burrow back into MVP conversation in the process. They must win tonight and get help from the Carson Wentz-led Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Jets to make the playoffs. The Steelers also have playoff positioning on the line as well. They can go either at the 5 or the 6 seed now that the Ravens have clinched the AFC North with their 35-10 victory over the Cleveland Browns. The Steelers have to win, if they have to win this if they were to earn a trip to Houston in the wild card round of the playoffs. Second meeting between the two AFC North rivals, the Steelers took the first game in Week 13, a 44-38 shootout at Cincinnati, where Russell Wilson showcased a vintage performance, throwing for 414 yards and completing 29-38, racking up 3 touchdowns in the process. Burrow threw 28-38 for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns in the loss, but got strip sacked twice. One of the fumbles being returned for a touchdown by Peyton Wilson. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. Admittedly, I am under the weather, so if I do sound different, don't worry. I mean, not being the usual energetic self, but I can manage. So don't worry about that. So I'm not, but the Bengals, they fell to 4-8 in that loss. The Bengals, they have won 4 straight games ever since. Over the Dallas Cowboys, with 2 touchdowns from Lisa Simpson, the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, and the Denver Broncos in overtime. After Kate York doinked a field goal, T. Higgins won it with a 3-yard touchdown catch and the pass from Joe Burrow towards the left side. The Dolphins traveled to face the Jets about Tua Tagovailoa, while the Broncos played the Carson Wentz-led Chiefs. Amidst the team's struggles, Burrow's having its best statistical season. If the Bengals make the playoffs, there is an argument for him to win MVP this year. He has set career highs with 4,641 passing yards and 42 touchdowns, and his 109.8 passer rating would be the highest of his career. The Steelers are likely playing to clinch the 5 seed in the AFC, given that the Ravens beat the Browns after being 18-point favorites entering that game. Still, a win over the Bengals would mean the Steelers will earn a trip to face the Texans in the wildcard round. Pittsburgh isn't thriving entering the playoffs. They didn't survive the most brutal part of their schedule. In 3 straight games against contenders, the Steelers lost by at least 14 points to the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Kansas City Chiefs. In the skid, the Russell Wilson-led offense is just averaging 13.3 points per game, but a matchup against the Bengals might be just what the Steelers need, though the Bengals have one of the worst defenses in the league. On to the keys. We begin with the Bengals. If it weren't for Joe Burrow, the Bengals would be in the running for the top pick in the 2025 draft. And that's how elite he's been. Despite the terrible defense, big missed field goals, and coaching miscues, it's still possible the Bengals can make the playoffs. He has to be perfect to get them here. The offensive line is giving up a ton of pressures. The defense is able to keep teams out of the end zone. And Zach Taylor may possibly make a wrong decision. So it's up to Burrow to pull some magic out of his hat, making one of those Houdini plays. Also feeding the ball to the big three of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Mike Gesicki, who combined for 16 catches for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns the last time the two teams met. Last week, they combined for 30 catches for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. For the pass defense, second of all, the last time the two teams met, Russell Wilson threw for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's the only time this season he has thrown for over 300 yards. To say that he embarrassed the Bengals secondary is a heavy understatement. And to keep Cincy's slim playoff hopes alive, they need to step up. Geno Stone, the rest of the secondary have been better in the last few weeks, but Wilson is going to be the best QB they faced since the last time around. The hope is that there is real growth in the last few weeks, and not just playing bad quarterbacks. Third is to protect Burrow. It's the same song and story. To advance the franchise, protect the franchise. Burrow took 4 sacks last time the two teams met, and 7 times since last week's game. The Steelers have a lot of talented pass rushers, including TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith, and Nick Herbig. Watt has logged an 11.5 sacks on the year, and primarily lines up on the right side, which in this case is opposite Amarius Mims. The offense runs through Burrow, and it won't work if he doesn't have time to find his elite receivers downfield. Fourth is to win the turnover battle. Last time, the Bengals lost the turnover game 3-1. Burrow threw a pick and got strip sacked twice, with one of them being returned for a touchdown. and the other lead to a field goal. They had a defensive score as well as Cam Taylor Britt's pick 6, but this time around, the Bengals need to win the turnover battle decisively and give Burrow and the offense as many chances as possible as they find themselves in yet another must-win situation. For the Steelers, on the other hand, first is to avoid all of the bad on offense. Anything on the offensive side of the ball could go better, given the team's recent woes on that side of the ball. Better quarterback play, better blocking, more receivers getting open, you name it. They need a lot of improvements heading into this game. However, most important of them all is avoiding streaks of consecutive 3-and-outs that tire out the defense, frustrate the offense, and dig the Steelers into an early deficit. Pittsburgh doesn't need to be perfect on offense, but they have to adjust and sustain drives more than a handful of times a game. They did drop 44 on the Bengals last time around, and Cincy is a good matchup to get the offense back on track. Second is to fix the communication issues on defense. This has arguably been the biggest problem for the Steelers in recent weeks. Thankfully, it's also a feasible goal with some time off. They have been completely without talent in the defensive backfield, but even the healthy starters aren't on the same page. Cam Hayward did clarify himself that he wasn't calling out anyone particularly. He said, when 10 guys do their job and one guy doesn't, we're screwed. Despite the Steelers getting outscored 90-40 in the losing skid. Against Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, Pittsburgh cannot afford open looks. Third is to win the edges in the run game. Paying the third level throws to George Pickens must be an element in the call sheet, but the run game behind Najee Harris is the foundational aspect of the offense under Arthur Smith. The Steelers can win the edges using condensed sets to gain numbers on the play side. In Week 13, Harris totaled 75 rushing yards, 68 of them and a touchdown coming on rushes towards or outside the guards. Whereas that B gap, the A gap. Expect more pinpoint toss in the outside zone this game, to give him clean access to the perimeter and slice of daylight to hit. It's a good matchup. The Bengals defense allowed 4.5 yards per carry this season and 5.1 towards or outside the guards. As for defensive keys, TJ Watt, for as elite as he is among edge rushers, unsurprisingly continues to face double teams and chips from opposing offensive lines, given his elite status. Blitzing off the left side may force the Bengals to allow Watt more one-on-one matches at the right side, which can play to his advantage. The inside linebacker position, meanwhile, has been a three-way split between Peyton Wilson, Atlanta Roberts, and Patrick Queen. However, Queen has struggled with consistency this year. Wilson and Roberts could provide more reliable play in pass defense and run stopping. We'll now go over to our starting 11s on both sides. Begin with the Cincinnati Bengals. Excuse me if I cough at any point, given that I'm under the weather. So under center is Joe Burrow. The running back is Travion Williams, given that Chase Brown is out for this game, dealing with an ankle injury. So Travion Williams will maybe likely be under center, or actually maybe Khalil Herbert being right by Joe Burrow. Outside wideouts are Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. In the slot is Andre Yoshivas. The tight end is Mike Gesicki. The offensive line for left to right is Orlando Brown, Cody Ford, Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, and Amarius Mims. Defensively, in the starting 11, up the middle it is B.J. Hill and Chris Jenkins. Off the edges are Miles Murphy and Trey Hendrickson. Linebackers are Jermaine Pratt and Akeem Davis-Gaber. Outside corners, Josh Newton and Cam Taylor-Britt. Mike Hilton in the slot. Deep safeties are Von Bell and Geno Stone. The kicker is Cade York. Punter is Ryan Rico. The long snapper is Cal Adamas. The return men is Isaiah Williams, given that Jermaine Burton has been healthy scratched by Zach Taylor. For the Steelers, under center is Russell Wilson. Running back is Najee Harris. Outside receivers, George Pickens and Van Jefferson with Calvin Austin in the slot. Pat Fryermuth, the tight end. Dan Moore, Isaac Sumalo, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, and Broderick Jones, the offensive line from left to right. Defensively, their starting 11 is like this. Keanu Benton and Cam Hayward on the interior defensive line. DJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, the outside edge rushers. Atlanta Roberts and Patrick Queen, the inside linebackers. Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice Jr., the outside corners. Beanie Bishop, the slot corner. Deshaun Elliott and Minka Fitzpatrick, the deep safeties. Chris Boswell is the kicker. Corliss Whitman is the punter. Christian Kuntz is the long snapper. Return men are Cordero Patterson and Calvin Austin. against this Joe Burrow-led offense for the Steelers defense, they'll have to be on their A game if they want to completely shut them down. Trey Hendrickson knows the task at hand, given that he, last week, set the franchise record for most sacks in a season. In this season, Hendrickson is at 14 sacks, TJ Watt at 11.5. And while Watt is not expected to be a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, the amount of double teams he gets shows his impact to the Steelers. Hendrickson may be of a similar impact for the Bengals, knowing that Cincinnati land themselves a premier defensive piece, getting him away from the New Orleans Saints. Opening kickoff will be here shortly in just a moment. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned. The Steelers getting ready to face off against the Bengals for the second time this season, had 2 sacks against the Bengals in Week 13, 108 career sacks, the 2021 Defensive Player of the Year, where he tied Michael Strahan for the sack record with 22.5 sacks on the year. 4th them coming against the Cleveland Browns in Week 17 and what proved to be Ben Roethlisberger's final home game. And he is getting set here for perhaps another vintage performance here in the season finale at home for the Steelers. Unless if there is a home game to be hosted over at the playoffs, given that the Steelers have clinched a playoff spot. They'll begin either on the road, either against Baltimore or Houston. That depends on this game and the Chargers-Raiders game tomorrow. If they need to create turnovers here and win the defensive battle and play hard defense. That's been the mantra of the Steelers football. Hard-nosed defense and an elite running game throughout their franchise's history. It would be Franco Harris, Jerome Bettis, Willie Parker, Le'Veon Bell, Now Najee Harris leading the way. So as we begin for this game, our hearts go out to the horrific tragedy that occurred over at New Orleans, and the lives that were lost on that day. My hearts go out to the families' victims, and my condolences to them. The Pennsylvania State Police Color Guard presenting the nation's colors. As we are going ahead here, beginning with this game. So in the earlier game, the Browns and Ravens faced off at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Five touchdowns for the Ravens on the night. A pick six for Nate Wiggins. Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman being the recipients of the Lamar Jackson touchdown throws. Derrick Henry also rushed for 2 touchdowns, 20 carries, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson being 16 of 32, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns. Leading the way was Bateman, 5 catches, 76 yards, and 1 touchdown. Bailey Zappi became the 40th starting quarterback for the Browns since the franchise revival in 1999. An infamous list that started with Tim Couch, selected in the expansion draft. Now we're getting set for another chapter of the Steelers-Bengals rivalry in the AFC North, one of the most physical rivalries in NFL history. Joe Burrow getting himself MVP-like numbers. Russell Wilson getting the Steelers to respectability on offense. And for the slowdown, between Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they have double digits in touchdown receptions, with Jamar getting 16, Higgins getting 10. Higgins is a free agent after this season, and they're getting set for battle. We'll be right back for kickoff in just a moment. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned. Santonio Holmes, the Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 43, hyping up the crowd as we're about to get underway here at Acrisure Stadium, previously known as Heinz Field. But Holmes having an iconic performance in that game. Plus, an iconic touchdown catch, the Tampa touchdown. We're underway here at Pittsburgh. Let's get rocking and rolling, everyone. Must win for the Bengals as they are returning the opening kickoff. Isaiah Williams to the right side, and he'll get stopped at the 27. Ben Skoranek with the stop. 290 passing yards per game for Joe Burrow and 42 passing touchdowns. Both categories leading the league. 8 interceptions. The 8-8 record showing wins are not a QB stat. Cincinnati's going with 4 tight ends in this game. Initially it was 5 on the active roster. One of them has been ruled inactive. Tanner McLaughlin. Cam Grandy is the fullback here to lined up towards the left side is Khalil Herbert. And he is stuffed on the first play from scrimmage by Deshaun Elliott as he was going through the middle. Chase Brown inactive here, dealing with an ankle injury. Jamar Chase leading the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. The 28.3 points per game ranks 6th in the NFL, with Zach Taylor calling the plays. Not offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher. Herbert once again in the backfield. Jamar Chase lined up against Corey Trice as Herbert motions up, lined up at the tight end spot, right behind the left side of the offensive line. Burrow will throw it on second down towards the left side. Open man, it is Gesicki. Gesicki carries on forward and gets a first down. 12 yards as he was being slowed down by Deshaun Elliott. Defensively, the Steelers have allowed 20.5 points per game. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, and Minka Fitzpatrick named to the Pro Bowl. Joey Porter Jr. is active. He was on the injury designation list before this game. Dante Jackson is ruled out, so Corey Trice takes his place. Hayward, defensive captain here. They'll mark it 14 yards on that first play. Joey Porter Jr. getting ready to go up against T. Higgins as his fire towards the right side. Higgins adjusts. And a leaping grab for the first down again. Have to see again if Higgins got that one. He was matched up one-on-one with Porter, but it was out of the reach of Cam Sutton. Joey Porter Jr. was the best corner. Now Higgins hauled it in. It is 1 yard short. They rule it. The Steelers doing a little bit differently here, as Porter's going up against Higgins. Plan might be to double team Chase more. 2nd and 1 as the Bengals are rolling. Shotgun set again. Burrow to throw once more. Towards the middle. Wide open is Gesicki as he gets to the 35. Another first down. Burrow is in rhythm here early on. 16 yards on this catch and run for Gesicki. He has delivered everything for the Bengals for the tight end position. The former Miami Dolphin, former New England Patriot. Not a lot of single coverage that the Bengals see. Single high safety on 64% of passing plays that they use, the second highest in the NFL. On first down is Herbert, who runs for the middle, slips up and gets 5. Little nice game for Khalil Herbert on first down. The defensive front needs to be in form for this game. A power front and to stack up the box more often. Steelers have 4 defensive linemen active for this game. Dean Lowry and Isaiah Loudermilk are inactive. Towards the left side, Herbert is stopped short the first down. 2nd down, he gets 4. It'll be 3rd down and 1. 54 rushing yards and 8 gains to the Bengals as he was traded from the Bears on November 5th, but he was utilized as a backup running back behind Chase Brown. Now that Brown is inactive for this game with Zach Moss on the IR, Herbert will be trusted with getting the running game going. Larry Ogunjobi on the defensive line for the Steelers. It's 3rd and 1.5 yards to go. Jamar Chase motions up front from the running back spot. Burrow look outside for Chase. Floats right by Trice. First down. He has a first down here for Cincy. Gain of 7 that time. As Trice got him to stumble a bit. Lined up from the running back position, and that time he motions over to the left. It's a design play in which he lines up from the running back spot. Before TJ Watt munched him up, Burrow got off on time. The weather is a factor. And for Cincy, they have one opening drive touchdown in their last 24 games against the Steelers. Gesicki motions. Right then left. On first down on a play fake. Towards the left. Chase. Steps out. Corey Trice forced them out. And things are getting a little easy here for the Bengals as they open things out on their way. Trice tried to shoestring in Chase. And Trice was played more in the last couple of weeks, but soft coverage that time. Burrow is a perfect 5-5, 52 yards. 5 minutes gone here in this game. Yellow end zones here for the Steelers. Yoshivash is motioning towards the right side. Shotgun set. Burrow towards the middle. Touchdown! Jamar Chase leads the way on a perfect start for the Bengals. 12 yards out. And the Bengals are on the board first. Don't give him any room. That time the Steelers did. And it bit them back. Jamar Chase gets the slightest of separations through on that slant route towards the left side. And that paid dividends. Cade York to kick the extra point. Evan McPherson on the long-term IR. He's on the injured reserve for the Bengals. And the extra point for York is up and through. 7-0 Cincinnati. 64 yards passing. 74 yards passing. Or actually 64 yards passing for Joe Burrow on his opening drive. 6-6. He finds his LSU teammate Jamar Chase. Steelers ball for the first time when we come back. Joe Burrow has been perfect so far. 6-6, 64 yards on that drive alone. He found his receivers in stride, one of the best quarterbacks in the business. He gets Cincinnati to an early lead. How will the Steelers answer back? 2.05 average time to throw for Burrow on that opening drive, which is a season low for next-gen stats. And Corey Trice Jr. continuing to get cooked at every turn. It's a very tall task going up against one of the best receivers in the league. And the ball falls down on the kickoff. So Cade York has to reposition it. Sometimes that can happen. And Burrow is throwing the football. Magic happens. How will Russell Wilson answer? He did throw for over 400 yards the previous time these two teams met. That was the only time he threw for over 300 yards on the season. Kick is up. And this might be an illegal formation. That's going to put the ball on the 40-yard line. That actually was not an illegal formation. The kick did not make it to the landing zone, so the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. Russell Wilson is 6-4, but the Steelers have lost 3 straight in the last 3 games. 15-5, the touchdown to interception ratios for Russ since he took the helm from Justin Fields in week 7. 24.8 points per game in the first 13 games. But the number has significantly gone down in the last 3 games. For a guy like Russ, you need to be at his A game. That first touchdown coming with 9:49 left to go in the first quarter. 5:11 mark. Shotgun set to begin the game as Najee Harris motions left. Are we going towards the swing route maybe? No, it's a handoff towards the inside as Najee gets 4. They start on the ground on this drive. 13.3 points per game during the 3-game losing streak. 4.1 yards per rush. And George Pickens had 3 catches, 50 yards as returned from injury last week against the Chiefs. So Pickens is back as the wide receiver 1. That's his usual spot. Steelers dealt with mixing things around the receiver spot. Ben Skoranek motions towards the right side. He is in the slot. Delivers one over to the right side for Pickens. Pickens can't find any room. Josh Newton read him at every turn. And there's a push and shoving right after a matter of fact. And the officials had to come in to separate them. 3rd down nonetheless. But Joseph Osai was in the middle of it. Newton was there to make the stop. Pickens tried to get things around. 3rd and 7. As it was a loss of 1. As Pickens went backwards on the previous play. Pickens is lined up against Cam Taylor-Britt. Bengals are stacking the box. They're showing blitz. They may be faking a blitz. As Pickens motions towards the right side. It is a 4-man rush. Wilson under duress. He gets hauled down. On 3rd down is Trey Hendrickson. 15th sack of the season for Trey Hendrickson as his dominance continues on in Cincinnati. And that's a quick 3 and out. These two teams meeting once again. There was nothing for Wilson to find. The coverage is good down the field. This was a coverage sack. And Cincinnati was waiting on the entire way. Corliss Waitman gets it off. Back deep is Isaiah Williams. Blows right by one tackler. Oh my goodness, was he ever hit hard like that? In this cold and windy night here in Pittsburgh, the offense goes 3 and out. Isaiah Williams gets mauled by Connor Hayward. 7:47 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back. Joe Burrow is leading the league in passing yards. No team has ever had an NFL leader in passing yards, receiving yards, and sacks in NFL history. Jamar Chase, 1,639 receiving yards, and Trey Hendrickson with 15 sacks on the season. That is leading the league in such. These three guys have been doing the bulk of the damage here on opposing teams. And 7:47 to go here in the first quarter. Burrow and Chase once again out there onto the field. Once again looking to work their magic. Trice is looking to go tight coverage on the right side of the field. Once again in a shotgun set, Burrow's going to pass towards the left side. Open man is caught. Cam Grandy, the fullback, unofficially, with the catch and run, 9 yards. That's official, and he will go to the sidelines to put on his jacket. It is cold. Very cold. The Bengals are going hurry up. They're not wasting any time. A perfect start for Burrow, 7 of 7. Cody Ford, his 16th game this season, 9th start. Initially with the Buffalo Bills. Now he is an offensive tackle for them. Towards the left side is Herbert. And Khalil Herbert, run down, loss of 2. Corey Trice Jr., this time around, gets his taste of action, forcing a tackle for a loss. Going with a counter play towards that left side. That time Ford was lined up at the right tackle side. Makes the big play, running around towards that left. But Trice was not fooled out and read the counter. It is a regular huddle. This time Trice is lined up at the left. Shotgun set again. 2 left and 2 right. Motioning up is Khalil Herbert. Watch for TJ Watt at the right side. Burrow. Hurried up. It's Gesicki. First down. As easy as it can get. 5 yards already for Gesicki. Peyton Wilson made the stop. Rookie linebacker out of NC State. A member of the Wolfpack. Ford was going one-on-one with the right side with TJ Watt. Amarius Mims not at that right tackle spot. This time Ford is the right tackle. Steelers trying to get some help on the edges defensively. As motion right is Grandy. Burrow hurries up his offense. Trouble from up the middle. Burrow flushed out towards the right side. Airs this one out and gets it off to Higgins. But runs it out of bounds after the catch. Another first down. Right on cue. These two connect once again. Higgins had the overtime winner against the Broncos last week. They have treated every game like it's must win. He's looking around where he can connect with his quarterback. Finding a place where Burrow can throw him the ball. 71 catches, 78 yards, averaging 12.4 yards per catch and 10 touchdowns. His 10th was the OT winner against the Broncos. Baker goes back deep. It's Herbert through the middle. 8 yards. A nice run up the middle for Khalil Herbert. Are the Bengals walking back behind the line of scrimmage? It appears. 11 catches, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And 3 touchdowns. One at the back corner of the end zone, one up the middle, one towards the left side. They're not going back. The play's not coming back. It's 2nd and 2 for Cincinnati. The right side is Grandy. There's some tough decisions that Cincinnati will have to make over the offseason's. Burrow delivers a dime towards Herbert. Herbert. Did he get the first down? It's going to be a very close call. He is just shy. It's going to be 3rd and about half a yard. So this Bengals offense knowing how to get their way in each and every turn. And Khalil Herbert, knowing that it's next man up, he is certainly playing to that factor. 21 rushes, 77 yards, 3.7 average yards per carry on the season. He has 1 touchdown split between the Bears and the Bengals. It is a shotgun set. And motioning around is Gesicki. Steelers are stacking up the right side of the defensive field. Herbert on a first down. Gets 3 yards. 4 yards, actually. And this has been a good offensive showing early on here for the Bengals. Outgained the Steelers 111 to -6. It's as good of a start in which the Bengals could ever have. Steelers are 10-6, but they're not careful. They may be going to Baltimore. Andre Yoshivas towards the right side. On the motion. 2 left and 2 right here as it's Burrow. Nick Herbert closes in. And already Herbert shakes off a tackle. And Patrick Queen, who has been struggling with consistency. Boy, oh boy. 2nd and 5. Montravius Adams was also in there as well. No Zach Moss, and Burrow a perfect 11 of 11 for 95 yards and a touchdown in cold weather, which is not bothering the Bengals at all. Motion Rice Higgins, who was a game-time decision earlier on the day dealing with an ankle injury. Burrow fakes the throw. Gesicki is munched up. That is the Sean Elliott towards the right side, but a flag is out. It's ineligible man downfield. And we say hello to our referee, John Hussey, for the first time tonight. Mike Tomlin smartly declines the penalty as it was the left guard, Cordell Volson, who was an ineligible man downfield. Because Mike Tomlin declined the penalty, it was a 3rd and 7. Reasoning being, you do not want to give the Bengals another down. It was a loss of 1, 3rd and 6. I think this may be a smart declining of the penalty. Elliott lines up towards the right side as a corner. Normally lines up as a safety. Crowd trying to get themselves into the factors. The Steelers blitz Burrow. Ball pops free. It goes to Khalil Herbert. It'll be a field goal attempt. The edge rushing duo of Highsmith and Watt disrupting the play as Terrell Austin sent out the blitz. As Patrick Queen caused chaos right up the middle. It was not a play fake. It was a well-executed blitz as Queen forced the fumble right up the middle to disrupt up the throwing motion of Joe Burrow. 48-yard attempt for Cade York. He is 5 of 9 this season between Washington and Cincinnati. His longest has been 59. This kick is down the middle. He drills it. Another one of the members of the 2019 National Championship winning team with LSU, alongside Burrow and Chase. Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Terrace Marshall Jr., and Thaddeus Moss also part of that team. Alex Highsmith and Patrick Queen causing chaos to limit the Bengals to just a field goal. We'll be right back. Steelers defense did their job, limit the Bengals to just a field goal as they were getting penetrated deep at their own territory. As Patrick Queen and Alex Highsmith forced the fumble, Khalil Herbert recovered it though. As Cade York drove a 48-yarder down the middle. 10-0 Bengals here with 1:24 left in the first quarter. The Steelers trying to find an answer. They lost 6 yards on their opening drive. They do not want to overexhaust their defense like they did in their last 3 games. This is a deep fielding for Jalen Warren as Cordero Patterson moves up to block. And Warren, oh my goodness, he spins out several Bengals defenders and gets it back to the 27-yard line. So a good return here for Warren. A well-earned 27-yard, a well-earned return for Warren as he returned it to the 27. Wilson and company need to find a groove. The Steelers have a negative 64-point differential in the first quarter, which is second worst in the NFL. The first quarter isn't where they find their groove. Second quarter, they need to get on their rhythm. Motioning is Van Jefferson at their right side. Towards the left, it is Najee Harris. He stumbles, keeps his footing. Somehow manages to get a first down out of that. Unbelievable. A gaping hole towards the left side, set up by Moore and Sumalo, goes under Jermaine Pratt and keeps his feet upright for the first down. Cam Taylor-Britt trying to find his man and does. That is Van Jefferson. As the Steelers are getting set here on first down at their 37-yard line off an incredible run from Harris. Toss play, it's Harris. Trying to find room. Nowhere that time. Loss of 1. And that may likely be the last play of this first quarter. 25 seconds to go here. It'll be 2nd and 11. Likely is Shaka Hayward forced a loss of 1. No relation to Cam Hayward. Want to go a little wider as Jefferson motions again. As Russell Wilson, he's going to run a play here to end the quarter. Oh, that is a low pass. 2 seconds to go. It's going to be 3rd and 11. What? And Lou Anarumo was as equally as confused as I was about the last play of the quarter. The struggles of the Steelers offense have been evident as the screen pass backfired. Might be better because Shaka Hayward would have tackled Najee Harris for a loss. So maybe a smart drop that time around because that play was going nowhere. 3rd and 11 as Hendrickson readies up on that left side. Pat Fryer move in motion. Stays at that left side. Shotgun set. Bengals rush 5. Wilson airs it out for the right side of the field. What a catch! And keeping his feet in bounds was Mike Williams. On a deep shot, the Russ Moonball pays dividends. Kept his feet down to end the first quarter. It's Williams. Converts on 3rd and long. We'll be right back for the second. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned. Josh Newton locks up Mike Williams on the outside right. And Williams gets away at the last moment towards that right side. Both feet down. And makes the catch on his outstretched arm. Incredible here for Williams, who was picked up in a trade with the New York Jets. Perfect placement for Wilson to get started the second quarter. In motion is Pat Freiermuth towards that left. Steelers at the Bengal 39. A very bright future for Williams, perhaps in Steeler black and gold, as Jalen Warren gets 4. Dan Moore Jr., the left tackle, lever it away up for the middle. On this inside run, Moore taking the place of the injured Troy Fautanu. Roderick Jones initially the left tackle before Fautanu was out for the entire year. Fautanu initially would have lined up at the right tackle spot. Initially supposed to solve the woes at right tackle. Toss play towards the right. And it's Warren. He was tousled over immediately as he went right by. It is just 1 yard on the run. Defensive presence. Just like that. And Lou Anarumo's defense wanting to step up big. They have been in the last few weeks. And it's these plays wise in which Warren, he went up. But the reinforcements quickly come in. That was Chris Jenkins who got up and mauled him down. B.J. Hill is stepping up. 3rd and 5 here for the Steelers. Motion Rice, Calvin Austin. Wilson. Blitz coming for the left side. Up for the middle. It's batted down. Flag comes in. Cam Taylor-Britt interfered with Freiermuth. A good call there as CTB hooked the arm of Freiermuth. Hooked his arm, which impeded with the progress of Freiermuth. And Wilson called for the flag, knew that was one. The seam route playing to the Steelers' advantage. That time, that is a free first down for the Steelers. Van Jefferson motions slightly towards the right side. Ball at the Bengal 29. No flag on the play as this is Najee Harris for the middle. Bruising. First down. 11 yards on the run. He is running hard tonight. The first down inside the 20. That time going through the B gap. Or the outside right. Geno Stone. Another victim of the Najee trucks. As he was bulldozing towards that right side. Stacking him up. 11 yards on that run from Najee. Single back set. They'll give it back to Najee. Open hole as he goes up and over. 3 yards this time. 3 yards that time around for Najee. And don't mind me coughing. But in his career, Najee Harris is the only player in his draft class to have 1,000 yards each of his last 4 seasons. 7 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons, each of his first 2 seasons. 8 last year, 5 this year. Could he find the end zone here? 68 straight start for him. The longest active streak by a running back. He'll get the rock again. Harris stopped a yard shy at the first down. But sets up the Steelers in good position. Jordan Battle with the stop. They'll be 3rd and 1. The commitment to the running game. The Steelers this season scoring 46% on touchdowns in the red zone. 2nd worst in the NFL. Against this Bengals defense, which has been bad as Russ sneaks. He'll try it himself and he may get the first down. They'll have to take a look at the spot though. They'll give it to him. 1st and goal. A sustained drive that's lasting at least 5 minutes now for the Steelers has been paying dividends with the ground game setting up numbers. Najee Harris being the lead, and Mike Williams, the recipient of the moonshot from Russ, helping them out a ton. Van Jefferson motions around on that right side. Audible here from Chef Russ. What'll he do? Handing it off to the right side for Harris. Harris is surrounded by several Bengals. He is forced out after a yard of gain. Not a lot of room there for him to run. But on second down, you would think that there will be a play to be had for the Steelers. Perhaps. The end zone being 8 yards away. Najee for the middle. This time the Bengals crowd him up 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Mike Hilton, the former Steeler, getting to him that time. Not a lot of room for Harris to get right by. 10 rushes and 2 passes in this play selection. Off the edge. And Hilton is an outstanding blitzer. Always has been throughout his tenure between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. He has known AFC North teams throughout his time. Pat Fryer move motions right. Darnell Washington to the left. 2 tight ends motion out. They're split out wide. Wilson towards the left side. Washington. Oh, he got held again. Darnell Washington towards the left side. Cam Taylor, Britt. And now a flag comes in. Now the question is, did he get held? Or did... The officials ruled that Cam Taylor Britt held Darnell Washington in the end zone to impede with progress on him catching the ball. That was intended for him. He was grabbed, and CTB tried to plead his case, but did grab him onto the arm. Did interfere with Washington on the attempted touchdown catch. And that made a sting here for the Bengals. It's a free first and goal here. Najee, up the middle, touchdown. From just 1 yard out, set up by the DPI, drawn by Darnell Washington. And terrible towels waving here at the Steel City. And the Steelers on the 13th play of the drive. Cash in on the lucky number. 73 yards on a drive that took 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Harris punches in from 1 yard out. And Mike Tomlin's guys are fired up. Couple penalties that aided them. 2 on Cam Taylor Britt, both for pass interference. Extra point from Chris Boswell is perfect. Pro Bowl kicker for just the second time in his career. The Steelers leading the way here tonight on offense. See if they can answer back defensively, knowing how good Joe Burrow and company are. Back here in just a moment. questionable of an ankle injury, but he was cleared to play. Amarius Mims has been banged up, but he will be the backup to Ford. Ford got tripped up by Larry Ogunjobi that caused him to fall down. He is dealing with an injury concern. Amarius Mims was questionable entering this game as well, but he was cleared for action. He started as the backup to Ford. Kick us off from Chris Boswell. Stepping up to return is Isaiah Williams as he goes towards the left side with Travion Williams going to block. Williams gets by some tacklers. Williams past the 40-yard line. Is forced out to 44 by Peyton Wilson. A 39-yard return for Williams as the Bengals are set up in good field position after that. At left tackle, Ford has played 410 snaps, 141 at left guard, 20 at right tackle, which was his first spot with the Buffalo Bills before he got shifted over to right guard when Darrell Williams signed with them. Bengals have the lead 10-7. They're starting at their own 44 after a nice return from Williams. For the middle is Khalil Herbert. Flag is down here. This may be the first one offensively for the Bengals. Might be a hold. Could this come back? John Hussey is going to determine what this penalty is. John Hussey is going to make the call. It's not a hold. It's offside on Alex Highsmith. So Highsmith was lined up at the neutral zone. He was limping a little bit around. But that time around he got a jump. You can't get any closer. It'll be 1st and 5 now. Dealing with some injuries throughout the season. But a solid pass rush rotation that includes Nick Herbig and Preston Smith. 1st and 5 is Burrow through the middle. Deflected up. And it's incomplete off of Yoshivash. That's the first incompletion Burrow has thrown. And not by any fault of his own, as Yoshivash could not hold that one in. He wanted to be on target with him, but that time around it just was not meant to be. Right off his head. With Deshaun Elliott in coverage. A safety. 12-13. 94 yards and 1 touchdown. Micah Fitzpatrick is the deep safety. Joey Porter Jr. will line up at the left. It's a trips formation to the left as well. Yoshivash motions towards the right side. Burrow will look. There's a man open towards the left. It's Gesicki. Gesicki. He reaches forward for the first down. Peyton Wilson wrapped him up. Six minutes removed here in the second quarter. TJ Watt is keeping up pace. Staying upright. And there was a low slip from Cam Sutton as he was blitzing for the left side, looking to deflect up that pass. But didn't. 5 targets for Gesicki. Has caught every one of his throws, every one of his catches, 5 receptions. It was Jamar Chase in motion around. This time, Herbert gets munched up. Just 2 yards on the pickup for Khalil Herbert, the ex-Chicago Bear. It was Keanu Benton on the stop as Cody Ford got the bulk of the work on TJ Watt. Joe Burrow has been throwing the ball fast enough. Watt has been a common disruptor of the play every so often. And then some. Yoshivash motions towards the slot at the right. 3 receivers to the right. 2nd and 8. Shotgun set. And here the Steelers fake the blitz, but the Bengals get stuffed anyway. 2 yards again for Herbert up through the middle. They'll force 3rd and 6. Burrow has been efficient throughout this game. And so far, it's been so good. Trice in his 2nd season, being a 7th round pick out of Purdue in last year's NFL draft. In the 2023 NFL draft, he has to step up in the absence of Dante Jackson. 3rd and 6. Jackson was the one who intercepted Burrow on a double deflection in Week 13. Burrow will look. Queen pocket towards the left side. Herbert. Does he have the first down? No, he gets wrapped up. 1 yard shy of first down yards is Joey Porter Jr., who stopped him. 1 yard short. He is helped up by Nick Herbig. Interesting question. Will the Bengals go for it on 4th and 1? Or will they kick a long field goal and such? Or punt it off? Too short for a punt, too long for a field goal. That's what the basis is for Zach Taylor as they want to extend this drive. And go up front. 56% conversion rate for the Bengals on 4th down. 4 wide set here with Chase to the right side, Higgins to the left. It's Burrow. Steelers rush forward. This gets popped up and incomplete. Mike Gesicki was the target, but the ball may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. It's a turnover on downs. Steelers take over. And a big stop for the Steelers. Just what they needed, as it was Cam Hayward who tipped it up. Steelers take over, down 3, where they get back on the Bengals. Back in a bit. For the Bengals to make the playoffs, they need to win this game, plus for both the Dolphins and Broncos to lose. They can also make the playoffs if the Broncos lose, they win, and the Dolphins tie. The Steelers clinch the 5 seed with a win. If they lose, how they can clinch the 5 seed is if the Raiders win tomorrow against the Chargers. 25-16, the play is in favor of the Bengals here. The Bengals have outgained the Steelers 124-57 in total yards. Calvin Austin motions right. The Steelers' first play, right after the turnover on downs. Najee Harris for the middle, gets forced towards the right side. That was Jalen Warren, actually. He gets 3, maybe 4 yards. It was 4 yards for him. Jordan battled with the tackle. An interesting decision by Zach Taylor to go for it on 4th and 1. But he knew that it was too long for a field goal and too short for a punt. 2nd and 6, the Steelers go hurry up. Back to the ground they go. Warren gets free. He was wrapped up by Chris Jenkins Jr. as Jamar Chase reviews the footage. Bengals can clinch of a win. Broncos loss. Dolphins loss. Then he needs help from both the Carson Wentz-led Chiefs and the Jets. 3rd and 3. And the Bengals swim playoff hopes on the line. Russell Wilson looking towards the right side. Bobbled up and it's up and out of Van Jefferson's hands. Josh Newton broke the pass up. It'll be 4th and 3. It's another 3 and out for the Steelers. Good technique here as Newton stayed with his man and broke up that pass. Challenged him one-on-one. got his arm in on him and broke it up. And Corliss Waitman just gets this punt off. Perfectly executed as it pins the Bengals back deep. 5:32 left in the second quarter. Ain't been lucky to get that one off us. That was so close to being blocked. It was a low snap. It knocks it out of bounds. But makes up for that. 10-7 Bengals when we return here in this second quarter. Thursday and Friday is the college football playoff semifinals, beginning Thursday with Penn State and Notre Dame, Friday with Ohio State and Texas. The middle four seeds make it to the semifinals as Joe Burrow. He'll look left and right. Now step back. Being chased by Montravius Adams, running on time, gets it up on time, and as is tight end. Flag is down, however. Drew Sample, being the recipient, flag is down. We'll have to check in on the penalty. And John Hussey may have bobbled the ball upon catching it. Larry Ogunjobi watching onwards for the verdict. Is this... That's the second ineligible man downfield penalty against the Bengals. This time it is Ted Karras, the center. A member of the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals. As Karras got across. Oh, he was a little jumpy. Tried to get back as he realized Burrow still had the ball. At the time he got back behind the line of scrimmage, it was already too late. Gesicki motions towards the right side. 3 receivers towards the right. On a shotgun set. 5 minutes to go. Burrow being chased. High pass for Herbert. Herbert, oh, wow. He got shoestringed by Cam Sutton. He gets 4 back. He gets the penalty yardage right back. Almost all of it. All but 1. This Burrow, he used his footwork to his advantage as Larry Ogunjobi got smothered by Cody Ford. Then he gets kicked right afterwards. 2nd and 11. Ford is holding his own at the right side of the offensive line rather well. Burrow is 15-17 for 108 yards and 1 touchdown. Taking what's given to him. Going for the more methodical route. Burrow, spin move from Highsmith. Chase adjusts. can't quite get the first down. Corey Trice and Minka Fitzpatrick both there for the stop. It'll be third down nonetheless, but it's more manageable for the Bengals. 3rd and 3 as Chase gets 8. Cody Ford will be a topic of discussion for the Bengals in this game moving forward. At their right tackle side, Amarius Mims being a backup right tackle. Snow and snow flurries are right around the field. So it's snowing, but it's not heavy snow. 3rd and 3, but it's playoff weather. See who is built for this moment. Empty set for the Bengals. Burrow is hurried up and munched up alive. Preston Smith. A quick free and out here for the Bengals as they were pinned deep in their territory. Preston Smith finished his job on 3rd and 3 as he hurries up Burrow, shaking off Cordell Volson, the left guard, the weakest link of this offensive line. He lost his job mid-season, now back on the O-line when they get the task at hand, but could not do so. It's a loss of 4. Ryan Rico sends this one off. Back deep, it is Calvin Austin. He is going to return this. Blows right by one guy. Oh, did he lose the ball? The Bengals say they have it. Austin may have lost the ball in the end. And they have it. The Bengals recover the ball. Akeem Davis-Gaber was right in on Calvin Austin to force the ball loose. And Shaka Hayward punched it free. Bengals get it right back. Deep into Steeler territory. Davis-Gaber recovered. In a big turning point as it was a punch out with Hayward flying. An outstanding field position for Cincinnati as they get to keep the ball. Now at the Steeler 33. It's Burrow. Flags fly in behind the line of scrimmage though. It's going to be a false start, which will pin them further back. And right on cue, as I mentioned, Cody Ford being a talking point, he gets a flag. It's the 10th straight Steelers game with a turnover. The longest active streak for them. So Ford has been an offensive lineman that's been the topic of discussion for the Bengals. Lining up at left tackle, left guard, and now right tackle for Cincinnati. At the left side, it's been mostly a strong suit. 1st and 15 as the Steelers send out a blitz after Burrow. Towards the left side, chased by Elliott, gets it off right on time. And it's caught towards the left sideline by Yoshivash. They've been able to track down receivers left and right. But nonetheless, that time around, that play to the Bengals' advantage on a sideline catch. The Steelers will try to calm the nerves of Calvin Austin on the sideline. 2nd and 6. Steelers stack the box up for the middle. Possible blitz maybe. Burrow signaling an audible. They don't need to run a play. They don't have to snap it here on 2nd and 6. At the 2-minute warning, they'll just let it run down to the 2-minute warning. But a Calvin Austin fumble on a punch out by Shaka Hayward, where Akeem Davis-Gaber recovering, sets the Bengals up in Steeler territory. 10-7 lead. 2 minutes to go. That's with the 2-minute warning. I am Malik Naba. Stay tuned, everyone. Steelers win, they'll travel to Houston. If they lose and the Chargers win tomorrow, they'll be traveling to Baltimore. Ravens have the 3 seed locked up. Texans have the 4 seed locked up. Division winners are locked up under seeds. The Chiefs having home field advantage throughout the AFC segment of the playoffs. The Bills having the 2 seed. Steelers will receive the second half kickoff. Bengals in Steeler territory. 2nd and 6. 2 minutes to go. Cordell Volson is the left guard. Drew Sample the tight end at the left side. 2 receivers towards the left side. Webb Sample. And there's 1 receiver to the right. Yoshivas is motioning towards the right side. 2nd and 6. Steelers send 4. Burrow and immediately Sample wrapped up by Queen at the line of scrimmage. Gave him no room to maneuver. It'll be 3rd and 6. And the first timeout taken by the Steelers. They'll go towards Burrow's completion track record. But nonetheless, T. Higgins and Joey Porter Jr., a matchup that plays towards an advantage where T. Higgins, as he adjusts and makes an incredible catch. The Steelers use a lot of single high safety looks. The Bengals have dissected that and bit them on every turn. On the touchdown, it was single high safety. Man coverage throughout. 3rd and 6. Game clock is reset to 1:57. Joe Burrow against man coverage 8 of 10. 57 yards and a touchdown. Burrow has done excellent against elite defenses. He's got a lot in this game. 2 safeties here are deep. 2 left and 2 right. They shift to a single high safety. Steelers blitz. Burrow is bunched up. T.J. Watt. And his iconic kick celebration. A flag is down, however. The fumble was recovered by Cincinnati. There is a flag at the end of the play. Who was it on? To Drew Sample. Played the blocker up for the middle, but T.J. Watt read it. Went to one-on-one matchup. There was a hold on Corey Trice, so that's going to negate the strip sack. And this will give Cincinnati a free first down as Trice held Jamar Chase. That is not a good thing for the Steelers to do. As Trice held on to Chase. That is the last thing you want to do when you're sacking someone on first down. Middle side. Khalil Herbert gets 4 yards on the first run on the fresh set of downs off the penalty. It's a gain of 3. The clock will continue to roll. 2nd and 7. The Steelers have used up a timeout. They trailed by 3. It's just 3 yards for Herbert. I thought it was 4. It's 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Ford up against Watt on the right side. T.J. Watt primarily lines up against right tackles. That's been the case throughout his career. Cam Sutton lined up as a slot corner. 4-man rush towards the right side is Chase. And the flag was down before the play. And what in the world is Corey Trice doing? The flag was down before the play, so the catch by Chase will not count. It was Orlando Brown who caught with the false start before the play was off. As he was backing up several steps. And a few penalties, and then there was a scuffle between Chase and Trice. 4 offensive line penalties so far for the Bengals. Brown is right fibula broken in 2 places, and he is playing through the pain. And what they're talking about now is about that altercation with Chase and Trice. The clock will still start on the referee's signal. The Steelers have declined the 10-second runoff. 2nd and 12. It is a running clock. Fans chanting defense because it was a running clock. The Steelers had the option of accepting or declining the running clock. Burrow looks for the middle. And is it picked? Minka Fitzpatrick thinks he has it, and he does. It's actually Beanie Bishop. Off the hands of Jamar Chase, and a rare drop by Jamar. And the Steelers get a takeaway. They were asking if it was picked off. Beanie Bishop thought he had it. He did. It is a takeaway for the Steelers as it bobbled off of Chase, went off of Patrick Queen, and Beanie picks it up. There's Beanie for you, baby. 1:08 to go, 2nd quarter. Patrick Queen batted the ball up into the air right off of Jamar Chase. It's the 4th bat of the year for Queen that allowed Beanie Bishop to play the ball and pick it up from the ground as he was in pursuit of this ball and gets a key takeaway for the Steelers. They could be in position to get a field goal before the half ends. That's the Steelers' 32nd takeaway this season. The Bengals blitz is tipped up and is down incomplete. Geno Stone was in pursuit as it was batted off the line of scrimmage. It was in the air for a good 2 seconds before Geno Stone nearly intercepted that. It was tipped up by Mike Hilton, one of the best blitzers. Wilson on 2nd down towards the right side. It is Pat Freiermuth who picks up a 1st down. Shoved out of bounds by Jermaine Pratt. 1:01 to go. 1st down here. Steelers acquiring the 10-second runoff. And it may be smart knowing. And the Steelers are going, hurry up here. Despite the fact that they've ran this out of bounds. Wilson in trouble. Throws it towards the left side. And it's thrown away. 3-4-7 here is Russ. And with under a minute to go. 54 seconds to go. As Wilson was chased down by Trey Hendrickson. So Hendrickson was out of the lineup for a good bit. Returned last week. Bengals stacking the line of scrimmage. They have 6 guys there. Send the blitz. Wilson, quick strike towards the right side. Freiermuth stumbles. 1st down. Back-to-back times that Wilson hit his trusty tight end, Pat Freiermuth. And anyone who knows about Arthur Smith, he likes to go to his tight ends. That time is Freiermuth as he ran towards the right side. Both times. We have an official review, however, to see if it was a first down. It'll be 2nd and half a yard to go. It was an official review. That was quick. It's half a yard short the first down. So John Hussey is calling a clean game. It'll be 3rd and 1. And because it is a running clock, 49 seconds to go. George Pickens targeted once, has 1 catch, has not gone anywhere. It was not a running clock. Russell Wilson sneaking. Did he get the first down? And a timeout call by the Steelers. He got the first down. He's able to do that effectively. And at the timeout, the Steelers are down to 1 timeout left on the half. Bengals have all 3. Second quarter, 47 seconds to go. Cincinnati leads 10-7 in must-win territory for him. And Zay Flowers exited the win for the Ravens with a knee injury. The Chiefs were stuck 4 hours on tarmac, but finally depart from Kansas City International Airport. But Flowers exited the win with a knee injury. Ruled out for the rest of the game after suffering a right knee injury early in the second quarter. Coming 2 days after, Flowers was named to his first Pro Bowl. 3 minutes into the second quarter, Flowers was falling forward after a 12-yard catch when his right leg whipped against Andrew Voorhees just as Mo Diabate hit Flowers' knee. So initially it was a new set of downs. It was going to be close for Wilson. They moved the chains initially. They may get that another look. The ball may be short. And if it is short, it'll be 4th and inches. This was the first time that Flowers has been named to the Pro Bowl. And Flowers became the first Ravens player to reach the Pro Bowl as a wide receiver in the team's 29-year history. We're staying with you here. And the Chiefs, they were stranded on tarmac due to the storm, but they finally departed Kansas City at 6:01 p.m. Central Time. They departed from KCI, spending 4 hours stranded on the tarmac amid an ice storm that blanketed the region ahead of an impending blizzard. They tried to move with the flight as the weather, which had been predicted all week, bore down on them, but the plane they were expected to use was delayed in arriving. The team had to stick with their mid-afternoon departure, and just before it took off, airport officials announced that all flight operations were suspended due to rapid ice accumulation. Their charter jet was the first to depart once airport operations resumed. Which is... There was a brief break between the line of ice that glazed Kansas City and the arrival of heavy snow, expected to last all of Sunday. It should provide enough time to de-ice the plane, clear the runway, and get the Chiefs off the ground. They are waiting to find their playoff opponent. The earliest they will play in the divisional round is January 18th. And earlier this week, Andy Reid said he planned to rest his starters, meaning Carson Wentz will get the start. They have also listed Jawan Taylor and Isaiah Pacheco out with injuries to their knee and ribs, respectively. Chris Jones and Travis Kelce were expected to get the day off. So the call made by John Hussey, Akeem Davis-Gaber tapped Russell Wilson down short the line of the game. It'll be 4th down and inches for the Steelers. Now, do you go for it? Which I believe you would. And Mike Tomlin wants an explanation. And 4th and 1. So he's going to be an easy pickup for Russ. But here they are now, 4th and 1. 49 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And John Hussey going to go over to explain the ruling to Mike Tomlin. And Cincinnati has 3 timeouts. And they can get something quite easily. There was a 10-second runoff initially. No worries about it because Tomlin took a timeout. This is an extended huddle in the meantime. No 10-second runoff. It was the Bengals calling timeout. The Steelers did not call timeout. There are 49 seconds to go in this first half. In this playoff picture, the Bengals still in the hunt at 8-8. Dolphins at 8-8. Broncos at 9-7. The Bengals would make it in by virtue of tiebreaker over the Broncos based on head-to-head. 4th and 1. Bengals stack the box with all their defenders. See if the Steelers run a play, and they will. And that is going to be very close. It was the Jaylen Warren up the middle. This will be a very interesting look for first down. Did he get it? It is going to be close. Some defenders are running off the field. We may have another official review. And Cincinnati is saying they got the 4th down stop. Mike Tomlin tried to explain. I'll be looking at this again. We've had extended reviews. This is the 2nd straight play in which they're going to have a look. And now they have reversed the ruling. With an extended look. Jaylen Warren tried to get a yard. Was any part of his body down before reaching out for the first down? It didn't look like it at first, but there was an opportunity for the Steelers, but came up empty-handed. And now the Bengals get the ball right back at the Steeler 38. And they have 2 timeouts to go of it as well. This is Yoshivash motioning left. If the Steelers can hold the Bengals to a field goal, it'll be good for them. Burrow under pressure. Low pass. It's caught by Chase. It's on first down. 40 seconds to go and a timeout is used by the Bengals. A lot of chaos and reviews here in these final 2 minutes. 2nd and 4. And news out of Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard will make his debut tonight for the Clippers. His season debut. Some key plays by Pat Freiermuth. At back-to-back times the Steelers were stopped short. It looked like Jaylen Warren made a first down, but they reversed it. 2nd and 4 as Gesicki motions right. The 2 linebackers up the middle, Wilson and Queen. Burrow, Queen pocket, got it off on time to Sample. Sample trying to get the first down, but he is gang-banged. But with an extra effort, gets the first down anyway. But that may remain to be seen. They are moving the chains. And a timeout is called by the Bengals, which is their 3rd and final timeout. And Sample gets a first down nonetheless. Reaching the line again. It will be pending a review here from the officials. It is a timeout. Oh, we've had a lot of reviews for first downs here. But I don't think we'll get a review this time around. 31 seconds to go, and the Bengals trying to get 6 and not 3. Burrow is complete 20 of 23 for 135 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Watch for that one-on-one matchup at the outside right. Burrow airs this towards the left side. Leaping grab is Higgins inside the 10. And steps out of bounds. Just a first and goal at the 9. Between Joey Porter Jr. and Deshaun Elliott, he leaps up and adjusts himself for the catch. Spectacular. And makes these catches look routine. 3 catches, 3 receptions. So 3 targets, 3 receptions, 38 yards for Higgins as he lines up at the right. 2 left and 2 right on another shotgun set. Chase is motioning to the right. Burrow. He'll step up. Burrow. He just gets this one off. Rolled it incomplete. It went off of Herbert's hands. The play was disrupted. TJ Watt was crashing in. And Joe Burrow's front side was the advantage that time around, as Watt was in to disrupt it. Herbert with a smart drop, knowing that it was going to be blown up for a negative play. 11.5 sacks, which is tied for 5th in the NFL. 19 tackles for loss, and 6 forced fumbles. Second in that second stat, first in that last stat. Second and goal. Burrow delivers a strike, but it is batted up and incomplete. Cam Hayward with a second deflected pat has defense at the line of scrimmage. 2 tonight as he jumps up and swatted down like it's volleyball. A heck of a play from Hayward. 8 sacks, 7 batted passes, the most in the NFL. So Hayward loves batting past at the line of scrimmage. And at age 35, he is not feeling any luster. 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. Burrow of a clean pocket going for the one-on-one matchup. Just went over Chase. And they'll have to settle for a field goal. Cade York is about to come on. He has missed 4 field goals this season, but his possession was started with turnover on downs. It ended with Jamar Chase not being able to haul one in. It just went off his fingertips. Normally, he does not miss any of those. He normally makes those catches. This kick is from 27 yards. From the left hash, the ball be placed down at the 17-yard line. Snap, spot, kick is all perfect. It's a 6-point game here in Pittsburgh. Bengals lead. 16 seconds to go. And Joe Burrow and company a little upset that possession didn't end with a touchdown. Zach Taylor and company wanting to regroup and reload. Defensively, the Steelers have made key plays, but Joe Burrow and company have been able to block it off. The pressure from the Steelers defense has been at its best at times in this game. The blitz, which is a strip sack on Joe Burrow from Patrick Queen. The deflection from Queen is set up the interception by Beatty Bishop. And also with Preston Smith on a 3rd down sack. The pressure for the Steelers defense being relentless. 13-7, Cincinnati leading here at Heinz Field. 9 rushes, 29 passes for the Bengals on their play selection. For the Steelers, it's been mostly running plays. But they're not afraid to pass it when it calls for it. Cade York is set to get it off. It's on the way. Will this be returned? It will not. Steelers start for their own 30. Will they get into field goal range is the question. In wild card weekend, the 2 games Saturday. We don't know any of the matchups just yet. 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. I am not available for the Sunday games as I will be over to watch the Carolina Hurricanes and Eric Stahl's jersey retirement, so I'm unavailable on Sunday. Saturday and Monday, I will be. Bengals outgained the Steelers 172-84, and the Steelers are lucky. They're only down by 6. Wilson on first down. Has to get away from the pressure. Munched up. And that may do it for the first half. So that's it for the Steelers offense, as Joseph Osai was the one getting the sack to end this first half. Bengals lead 13-7. Steelers will receive the second half kickoff. And Mike Tomlin and company need to get the halftime adjustments. They need to. Russell Wilson and company need something offensively, a spark, any semblance of life. I am Alec Nava. We'll be right back for the halftime report. The Steelers down by 6 at halftime. They should be happy that they're in this position, given that they are getting outgained at every turn. But this is the best spot possible for the Steelers. That they are getting out, that they're down by 6. The Bengals having the advantage in total yards, 172 to 75. I am Alec Nava, and I apologize once again for the cough. I've been under the weather these last few days. Honestly, I'm going to get back up to 100% on my recovery, but I could not miss out on these games. But if this sickness persists, I may sit out the wild card round. And maybe even I may sit out the college football playoff semifinals in such case. So I want to prioritize my health, but I could not miss out on these 2 games. I'm sorry about this, honestly. Hopefully that everything goes around the way it can be. So, aside, hoping for the best for Jordan Whitehead. Jordan Whitehead is involved in a 2-vehicle crash on his way to the team facility. He and the other driver involved in the crash were transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. He will miss the regular season finale and is placed on the non-football injury list. Ryan Neal has been elevated to practice squad. The police told ESPN around 9:30 a.m. officers responded to a crash at the intersection of Northdale Mabry Highway and West Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, less than a mile from the Bucs practice facility. Whitehead was driving a Chevrolet Corvette, driving south on Northdale Mabry Highway, attempting to turn left on the eastbound lanes of West Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And he hit a GMC pickup that was in the westbound lanes. The police. But the cause of the crash is under investigation. But the head of security and trade staff were able to get to Whitehead immediately to provide support. So, the second time he is on the injury list, given that he suffered a partially torn pec, battling his way to start in the Week 17 win over the Panthers. That is brutal for Tampa Bay. The Washington Commanders will get Austin Eckler back in time for the playoffs. They've activated him off the IR, giving them a key offensive player back as they prepare for the postseason. Played a regular season finale when the Commanders take on the Cowboys. They clinched a playoff spot last week, but can earn the 6th seed if a win or a Packers loss to the Bears. Eckler missed the previous 4 games after suffering a concussion in a Week 12 loss to the Cowboys returning a kickoff. His second concussion of the season, having endured one in a Week 3 win over the Bengals that caused him to miss 1 game. He opened his 21-day window to return on Wednesday. But Eckler's been versatile, rushing for 355 yards and 4 touchdowns, catching 33 passes for another 346 yards. He also averaged 31.3 yards on 19 kick returns, for a long of 62. 5 returns of 35 yards or more. On the coaching search, the New York Jets have interviewed Mike Vrabel, the former Tennessee Titans head coach, interviewing for their head coaching vacancy, expected to be among the most coveted candidates in this year's hiring cycle. A former Jets and Bills head coach Rex Ryan will interview for a team coaching the Jets from 2009 to 2014, compiling a 46-50 record of reaching the postseason in 2009-2010. Though, personally, I would take Vrabel, the second known candidate to interview for the vacancy. The Jets met with Ron Rivera on Thursday for the head coaching vacancy, looking to replace Robert Saleh, who was fired to compile a 20-36 record of 3+ seasons as their head coach. But given how the Jets went with Jeff Ulbrich as their interim head coach, yikes. The Los Angeles Rams will be resting their offensive starters against the Seahawks, given that are resting their key offensive starters. Along with Matthew Stafford, the Rams will rest Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, Kyren Williams, Alaric Jackson, Kevin Dotson. Jonah Jackson will start at right guard and Joe Noteboom at left tackle in the season finale. So, as is known. So, as we look at the NHL, so we have news from Phil Myers signing a 2-year, $1.7 million extension. 2 assists in 11 games in his first season with Toronto. 38 points, a +6 ± 72 penalty minutes, and 169 career games with the Flyers, Predators, Lightning, and Maple Leafs. So in the World Juniors, it's been the United States to take a look at their standout prospects from the preliminary round. Lennart Feldbergs being one of them. There's no denying that he has been the best goaltender in the tournament thus far. His performance over the last week allowed Latvia qualifying for the quarterfinals is so noteworthy that Carey Price tweeted congratulations to him. So Axel Sandin Pellikka, despite Sweden getting eliminated, he's been a shining light on an impressive Swedish team with a round robin. He's been outstanding for Sweden, playing major minutes, 2 points, 6.25 shots per game for the round robin. A driving force was Sweden for the blue line. Sandin Pellikka is leading the way for the tournament's Best Defenseman award heading into the medal round. Cole Hudson, very impressive too. Second round has been a maestro on the power play, slicing through opposing penalty kills with his skill and forcing penalty kills out of position to open lanes. Clear with the puck. Without glaring turnovers that lead to scoring chances for opponents. Not going to be defensive stalwart, but he isn't getting scored on. He creates dangerous scoring chances every shift. The flashy game that's been highly effective for the Americans. He's been their best defenseman through the round robin. So as we end off this halftime report, I am Alec Nava. Steelers have the ball to begin the second half when we come back. the second half kickoff. Snow flurries falling down here in Pittsburgh. As the Steelers are looking to get the 5 seed and knock the Bengals out of the playoffs. If Cincinnati wins, they'll still be alive, but they'll need help from the Broncos, who's losing, and the Dolphins losing tomorrow. An interception by Beanie Bishop on a deflection. 2 turnovers on downs in this game so far. There was the possibility of a shootout in the first game, and it was a shootout with the Steelers winning 44-38. Bengals want to return the favor and win on the road in Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson and company looking to end the Bengals' playoff hopes tonight. Let's see if they can do so. But this does not appear to be looking towards the way of a shootout. More of a low-scoring defensive slugfest. Ironic given that the defense has not been the Bengals' brand of football this season. 13-7 they lead, however, entering the second half as Cade York kicks off. And this will be a touchback on the opening possession of the second half here at Heinz Field, now known as Acrisure Stadium. Alec Nava here with you throughout this broadcast, fighting through the elements. But so far, if anything, yeah, I said, not going to be my usual energetic self. And more, it feels like throughout the sick cast, the touchdown drive, the Steelers had 13 plays of 63 yards, and their 4 of the drives, 13 plays, 12 total yards, as Pat Freiermuth motions left and right. And now back left he goes. This is going to be a running play on the first play. Harris, he did not spin out Jermaine Pratt despite wanting to do so. Pratt read the lane and got in there effectively. Lots of 4 as Pratt read the rushing lane to perfection. This year, Zach Taylor's 8-3 when leading at halftime. All 8 of the Bengals' wins have came with Cincinnati leading at halftime. To clinch a wild card, the Bengals need a win, plus losses from both the Broncos and the Dolphins. They can only get the 7th seed. As such, they'll travel to Buffalo for the first game. Wilson dumps off to Harris. Harris stays upright. Gets back to the 32. Harris had a 1-yard touchdown run up through the middle and the left side. Off a 2 defensive pass interference penalties from Cam Taylor Britt. Harris will sub out. 8 here. George Pickens back in this game. He was targeted once. Caught that pass, but does not have any yards to his totals. Motioning right is Freiermuth. Bengals defense calling for the shots over the left side of the field. This may be zone coverage. Blitz here. Wilson towards the right side. Low ball. Incomplete. Calvin Austin had too low for him. It's another 3 and out for the Steelers. And the woes continue on. It's frustrating for the Steelers. There's a low pass. One-on-one coverage with Marco Wilson. Would have been a nice catch if he was able to secure it. And the boos are raining down here at Heinz Field. Waitman sends this one off for Isaiah Williams. Good blocking schemes as Williams shifts left. Stopped at the 35. Brought down by Skoranek is Joe Burrow. 21 of 27 on the night. 453 passing yards. A touchdown and a pick so far for Burrow. Burrow with a great start as he completed his first 12 passes on the way to building this lead. You think that the Bengals would be up for a good and sizable lead. However, the frustration started to creep in as the Steelers defense started buckling down. A minute 36 in, the Bengals with a good defensive start complete his first 12 passes, but has since went 9 of 15, 59 yards and a pick, 94 yards on his first 12 passes with a touchdown. We'll see if Burrow can get out through that early game groove. Yoshivash motions towards the right side. Bengals need a win to stay alive. Plus, they'll need to have the Jets and Chiefs to win tomorrow to make the playoffs. Burrow fakes the handoff as he'll wait and now deliver a strike to the left side. The catch by T. Higgins at midfield. 15 yards on that catch. The Bengals rolling once again. Playing on that franchise tag as he took the one-on-one matchup with Joey Porter Jr. Wanted a deep shot and got it. Finding open spacing as Higgins with his fourth catch, 53 yards so far for him. Just across midfield towards the middle is Herbert as he only gets 2, maybe 3 through the middle. Second and 7 on that 3-yard run through the middle as the Steelers defense went up on him. So Higgins on that franchise tag might be a foregone conclusion. He could be testing free agency after this year, unless if they can get a new contract for him. One-on-one matchup between Trice and Chase. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in as the motion man up is Herbert. Yoshivash motions towards the right side in response. 3 left, 2 left and 3 right. Burrow is hurried up. Finds a wide open man to the left side. Gesicki. Forced out. But gets the first down. 8 yards. So that is part of the big three on the receiver core. Chase, Higgins, and Gesicki. Gesicki having himself a nice season with Burrow at the tight end number 1 spot. The tight end number 1 spot for the Bengals has been in flux over the years with Cincinnati, between C.J. Uzomah, Hayden Hurst, and now Gesicki. Burrow's found himself a reliable tight end. Uzomah was a fan favorite for the Bengals the last few years. 2 left and 2 right for Cincinnati. Burrow towards the right side is caught by Chase, who is wrapped up by Trice. 2 guys in on him as the ball came out well after Chase was hauled down. He's trying to become the 5th player in NFL history to win the Triple Crown. 123 receiving yards, 1,660 yards, 16 touchdowns. Receiving Triple Crown winners include Jerry Rice in 1990, Sterling Sharp in 1992, Steve Smith in 2005, and Cooper Kupp in 2021. That last one, Kupp won a Super Bowl with the Rams in the first year of Matthew Stafford under center for the Rams. Herbert is stopped short on the first down, but keeps his feet upright. Plunges forward for the first down. Steve Smith Sr., an all-time great for the Panthers. Sterling Sharp with the Packers as well. And Jerry Rice, 1990. The greatest receiver in NFL history, statistically. Higgins and Yoshivash are on the right. The Bengals have 8 touchdowns on their opening drives of the second half, which is tied for the most in the NFL as Yoshivash motions towards the left side. Switching players. Burrow gets it to the left side for Chase. Chase skips over Trice and gets another first down. At the marker, he actually may be a yard short. The Cincinnati, this is the way they want to operate. On their opening drive in the second half, they are going methodically, dissecting the Steelers defense at every turn. It'll be second and half a yard to go here for the Bengals. They'll go over running play. It's Herbert. First down, past the 15-yard line. Down at the 13. He gets 6 on that play. We'll see how much the Bengals can get on the next one. Barring a defensive takeaway. So they like to throw the ball a lot, but at times they will run the ball every here and then. want to take the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands at some points. That time they did. They wanted to get a first down with Khalil Herbert, who was filling in the place of the injured Chase Brown. 33 passes, 12 rushes for the Bengals. A pass-heavy scheme that works to Burrow's favor. Yoshi Vosh is the motion man towards the right side. Steelers send out the blitz after Burrow. Gets it out quickly to Sample. He is quickly wrapped up by Trice. A quick tackle by Trice to prevent any further damage as Burrow recognized the blitz and got it off quickly. 2nd and 8. 3 targets for Sample. He has 3 catches, 6 yards. Short routes for Sample as he hustles off the field. Ball is now at the 11-yard line. 5 of 5 on this drive for 41 yards. Has yet to throw an incompletion. He's looking a lot like how he did on the opening drive for the Bengals. On 2nd and 8, Burrow with an open pocket. Herbert gets away from Peyton Wilson, but Wilson has the last lap at the end. Shoves him out before he can reach the end zone. A touchdown-saving tackle to force him out of bounds. And he will set up 3rd and 2. Bengals can still get a touchdown, but this is the matchup that you want to have. As Wilson forced out Herbert, his foot was out of bounds. 3rd and 2. And typically Wilson has been a dog for the Steelers. Explosive on every turn. And can play at all angles. 3rd and 2. 12 rushes. 39 yards. For Herbert. Yoshi Vosh. Burrow hurrying up his guys. Dancing around the pocket. Backpedals. Has to get away. Bunched up. Back at the 19-yard line. It is Nick Herbig. And Burrow seems to be winded. And he can't get up. Ouch. Oh my goodness. It might be worse than getting winded, it seems. Nick Herbig had the sack. But Burrow is shaken up. We're hoping that he is alright as he landed on the football. His face mask is full of turf. They'll check on him to see if he is alright. And the concern is on him. We'll step away for the moment. Blows over Cordell Volson, and he and Herbig simultaneously bring down Burrow on the 3rd down sack. So 2 Steelers defenders converge for the 3rd down sack and force the Bengals to kick a field goal on 4th and 16. So during the break, Joe Burrow went over to the medical tent to get further evaluation. had a lot of turf on his helmet, on his face mask. So we'll check on his status later on. 35-yard attempt for Cade York from the left hash. He has not missed so far. He's 2 for 2. This third kick for him. And so far he is perfect. A nice night for York. Kicker from LSU. Burrow was hauled down simultaneously. He landed head first on the turf. He's going to be evaluated for a concussion, it seems. Usually, when you land head first on the turf, you see how he's trying to shake it up. It might be a concussion. So, it seems that might be a concussion from what they're trying to evaluate on Joe Burrow. They're trying to hope that Burrow is okay. It would be a bummer if it's something worse. But the hope for the Bengals is that he can get back onto the game. All ready to go. Pittsburgh needing a win to clinch the 5 seed. AFC North Saturday. A win gets them to Houston. A loss plus a Chargers win will send the Chargers to Houston and the Steelers to Baltimore. A win for the Steelers sends the Steelers to Houston, the Chargers to Baltimore. This kickoff, touchback here. And a Ravens-Chargers playoff matchup will be the second Harbaugh Bowl of the season. The Ravens beat the Chargers. The Steelers have had no first downs on 4 of their 6 drives so far. Russell Wilson being brought in to at least give a spark of life to the offense. But so far tonight he is 5 of 10, 51 yards. No touchdowns and no picks. Hoping that he would get a revival here offensively. But so far that hasn't been the case. The offensive woes have continued. And still at the most brutal part of their schedule. Jaylen Warren getting the first carry. Warren with speed. Gets 8 yards. Up through the middle. The ground and pound game has been outstanding. In their first 4 seasons with Mike Tomlin, 5-2 with 2 AFC championships. Super Bowl 43 champions under Tomlin. But in their last 13 seasons, 3-8, 5 straight losses, and 7 seasons without a conference championship appearance. Every other AFC North team has gotten a playoff victory more recently than the Steelers, including the Cleveland Browns, who beat the Steelers in 2020. 2nd and 1, as Warren got 9, or 8.5 more specifically. This will be Najee Harris this time. He gets a first down. Up through the middle. 3.5 yards on that carry for Najee. The two doing a good job of splitting the carries this season. So Arthur Smith being the offensive coordinator of Tennessee, knowing that ground and pound football has been the name of the game, whether it be Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, or Najee Harris as the RB1. But each of those destinations, minus Tennessee, has been a quality RB2. Inside toss for Harris. Harris munched up but fights to get an extra yard. Initially it was a gain of 1. It's a gain of 2 in the end. 2nd and 8 for the Steelers. Bengals lead 16-7. It's a quality RB2 between this destination and the last destination for Arthur Smith. Last time it was Tyler Algier being the RB2. This year is Jaylen Warren being the RB2. 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Van Jefferson is the motion man around. At that left side, 2 tight ends on display. Michael Pruitt is in. Darnell Washington is in. Wilson being chased by Osai. Heaves his one towards the left side. He threw it away. Instant pressure for the right side. No time to get it off to Darnell Washington. 3rd and 8. But it's a single high safety that the Bengals used this time around. Instant pressure for the right side. Coverage pressure as Washington, he was the open man. The one has a one-on-one on the outside. Washington was an open man underneath. But it got a little bit confusing for Wilson as he could not see that middle. Jordan Battle is getting a look at in the meantime by the Bengals medical staff. But they brought back Von Bell as the Bengals in the last offseasons. They lost Jesse Bates to the Atlanta Falcons. They brought in Geno Stone to complement their secondary. Battle got a shot from Najee Harris. His safety position a year ago has been a struggle. Battle has played all 17 games this season, 6 straight starts. A third-round pick out of Alabama in 2023. Steelers are 2 of 6 on third down, averaging 5.2 yards to go. This will be 3rd and 8. They have 3 receivers left and 1 towards the right side on a shotgun set. Russ, play fake, airs it over to the right side of the field for Pickens. Hold in, and it's in and out. Had it for a moment, but it came out at the last moment. Could not secure it. They were waiting for that look as Pickens might have had it come loose at that last moment. DJ Ivey in coverage. On a single high look. And Pickens had the one-on-one matchup. 2 targets, 1 catch. That would have been a second catch, but bobbled it. Could not get that last securing. Waitman sends this one through. Ben Skoranek made sure not to touch it. This will go out at the 5. That's where Joe Burrow and company will be pinned. 4:33 to go here in the third quarter. Burrow at 200 passing yards, 27-33. We'll see if the Bengals can stay alive here for the rest of this game. Heaters are out here in Pittsburgh. It is very cold. And very cold indeed, as it is. 21 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like it's 10. Snow flurries are out here in Pittsburgh. It is that cold. North side. Harbor on the run. Gets by the first tackler. Gets 7 yards out of a very good run as he shakes off the first tackler. Brought down by Ogunjobi. Joe Burrow able to get back and shake off the concussion. He was being evaluated for potential concussions. He hit his head very hard on that turf. 2nd and 2.5 yards as Yoshivash will line up at that right side. So a lot of shotgun sets for the Bengals. That's been their primary go-to. They'll go back to Herbert. Up front is a first down. 5 yards. This Bengals defense, which has been normally very bad throughout the season, they have limited the Steelers to 91 total yards. The Bengals, in the meantime, have 234 total yards. It's been their type of night. 3:27 to go here in the third quarter as once again, shotgun set, 1 left and 3 right. Towards the left side, Herbert again. This time he is munched up. Highsmith this time around. And with Burrow coming out of the blue tent, Chase Brown, 283 touches, 1,350 scrimmage yards, 11 scrimmage touchdowns. Out tonight with an ankle injury. Just 1 yard for Khalil Herbert. That's how he was limited to. One-on-one looks towards the outside. Amarius Mims at that right tackle spot. 2nd and 9. If the Bengals air this one out, you would believe they would. Steelers fake the blitz up the middle. Burrow given time. Towards the left for Sample. Sample. Shoestring. 4th catch of this game. Just a yard short the first down. 3rd and 1. Upcoming here for the Steelers. And that's where Jamar Chase was initially lined up as Minkah Fitzpatrick made the initial stop before Peyton Wilson came in to make sure he could not go anywhere else. 3rd and 1. As there are 3 receivers towards the right side. Mike Gesicki is motioning around left and back right. Another shotgun set. Another running play. Another first down for Khalil Herbert. And Khalil Herbert is the only player on the Bengals to have had a running play. 16 carries, 57 yards. No usage of Travion Williams or Kendall Milton. With 1:36 to go here in the third quarter, the Bengals have the ball and they've controlled the pace of play throughout this time frame. On first down, Burrow on a play fake. Airing this towards the right side. Wide open. Jamar Chase hung on to that one. Both feet were down before he ran this one out of bounds. It's first down for Cincinnati. Sangled up high, and Corey Trice caught off position on the deep out route 15 yards. And he was getting out of there towards the right side on the deep out. He was not going to give up on this play. 8 catches, 72 yards for Chase and a touchdown. He has the only Bengals touchdown. Najee Harris is the only Steeler touchdown. And the Bengals are marching down the field once more. Herbert gets away from one man and falls to the ground after 5 yards. Able to get to that second level. Jamar Chase, with a good way to start the game, he's got the bulk of the targets for Cincinnati. Looking to send the Steelers to Baltimore. Could have had 2 touchdowns, yet has just 1. On a rare drop, 2nd and 5. Now likely this will be the last play because the play clock is ahead of the game clock. And they want to turn these red zone possessions into touchdowns. Well, play clock was ahead of game clock, but they decide that this will be the end of the third quarter. There is no flag down. And it's the battle of the AFC North. And it's AFC North Saturday. After 3, the Bengals lead 16-7. Heading into the 4th. Ford is questionable to return with a chest injury. T. Higgins questionable with that ankle injury that he sustained earlier. Might have re-aggravated it. But even with the win for the Bengals, they need wins from both the Chiefs and the Jets to make the playoffs. Demarius Mims, with a broken right hand, he is in the game as the Bengals are driving. First play of this fourth quarter. It is 2nd and 5. Motion man is out there towards the left. Steelers send a blitz. Patrick Queen up for the middle. There was Gilberto was dying towards the left side. Oh my goodness, what a catch by Jamar Chase. A work of art. As he gets this towards the left side, 1-on-1 as he gets the upper hand on Corey Trice again. With one of the best catches that he's had on the season. At the Steeler 22, picking apart Trice at every turn. Oh, Herbert gets munched up. 2 yards only on that run towards the middle. But Chase has been having his way with Trice. A good coverage all throughout. Just not much that you can do there towards that left side. The Bengals there in their white tiger uniforms. 2nd and 8. And Khalil Herbert has been the only running back that the Bengals have used. And Jamar Chase has been an offensive dynamo. And Burrow is going to call timeout. Doesn't like what he sees here on 2nd and 8. And there may be an idea of getting Joey Porter perhaps on someone. Someone guard someone. Receiving this season, Jamar Chase, 1,703 receiving yards. Higgins, 911. 17 touchdowns for Chase, 10 for Higgins. All three of these categories, his Bengals have been thriving off of. And T. Higgins, he is wearing his jacket, questionable to return with that ankle injury. 2nd and 8 upcoming for the Bengals as Chase has been having his way with Corey Trice. Switch it up a little. On that right side, the Bengals need to get things up. Burrow on 2nd and 8. Towards the left, Herbert immediately bombshelled by Elliott. A loss of 1 on that last play will force 3rd and 9. At the back coming out, and he was shot out of a cannon as he saw that Herbert was going to take the swing pass and upended him. They double him up. 3rd and 9 on the next play. It's Porter across from Chase as they switch up the coverage maps. Steelers send the house after Burrow. Able to get away from one guy, flips it out for Hudson. Tanner Hudson gets the first down. Big pressure from the Steelers to get after Joe Burrow. His escapability, able to maneuver around the blitz. And time again, able to get away from all the pressure and deliver a shovel pass to Hudson that time around. And on the outlet, the Steelers did a good job at hitting the house after him, but Burrow able to escape it. Hudson able to find the open space. It's Herbert. Ball down after 2 yards. Alex Highsmith with the stop. No quarterback has taken more hits in the league than Joe Burrow for some of the struggles. Second and goal here for the Bengals as in the middle of this Steelers' brutal schedule. It was a gain of 1 on that first play as Yoshivash motions around. Play fake to Herbert. Swing past Yoshivash trying to get to the end zone. Denied entry. He stepped out of bounds. Mark him out at the 5. It felt like a long handoff towards that left side. They bring Herbert around. It looked like Patrick Queen got blocked out by his own guy. And Yoshivash stepped out the 5-yard line. Deshaun Elliott bringing him down. 13 plays, 82 yards. His drive is going at least 8 minutes. And the Bengals, they may be stepping out to call a timeout. They're going to have to use their second timeout. They will. A tight race for the NFL MVP as it was Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen being the two leaders. Allen being the leader at one point. Saquon Barkley being ninth all time being the ninth running back all time to reach 2,000 rushing yards. And out the way at the last, as Barkley being one of those guys can get it on the way. Joe Burrow thrusting himself into MVP conversation once again. That is if the Bengals make the playoffs. Third and goal here for Cincinnati. Fans loud here when the Bengals have the ball. Below that loud crowd continue on. Towards the middle. Incomplete. Cam Sutton was diving towards that ball, looking to intercept it. Instead, it will be a field goal attempt for Cade York. There was someone just behind him. There is a couple of these moments in which Joe Burrow, that almost was intercepted by Sutton over the back, and Mike Gesicki may have mistimed it. A very tight window to operate. Instead, it'll be a field goal from Cade York, left hash, 23 yards. Good from 48, 27, 35, and now from 23. It's good. He missed a 33-yarder in overtime, doinked it off the left upright that would have won it for the Bengals against the Broncos. And now the Bengals still alive. 3 minutes and 58 seconds into the fourth. We'll be back. So I don't know my status for the wild card round, but I do know one thing. I will not be available on Sunday. We'll figure out my status for Saturday and Monday, though, so long as I am fully recovered from the ailments. So 11:02 to go. Bengals lead 19-7. To clinch the wild card, the Bengals need to win, plus losses from the Broncos and the Dolphins. If they want to secure the number 7 seed, the Steelers need a win to secure the 5 seed. If they lose, their fate lies at the hands of the Raiders. Stepping up to return is Jaylen Warren. For the left side, Warren on the kick return. Hurdles over a man. He gets down at the 35-yard line. Russell Wilson has been very shaky tonight, to say the least. Very not like the self that he was at Cincinnati, his hometown team. They cannot give up the deep ball as Wilson went with the short yardage route with Najee Harris earlier on the touchdown drive. Wilson is a Super Bowl winning quarterback with the Seattle Seahawks. It has that better experience, but cannot hold up here. Motioning around is George Pickens at the right side. On first down, Bengals send 4. Russ towards the right side. Hold in. That is Van Jefferson at the 40. Four of 9 for 26 yards under 10 yards. Van Jefferson good for 5 yards on that right side. Steelers going hurry up here on 2nd and 5 at their own 40. They're going with the short yardage route as Wilson towards the right side. And for a tight window. That was nicely caught by Jefferson again. Another gain of 5 yards once more. And they're going up-tempo round. When you go up-tempo, you're looking to exhaust the opposing team's defense. Quicker drives. You're trying to get as much time as possible. Right side, Freiermuth tried to one-hand that. Too far out for him. It'll be, excuse me, 2nd down and 10. If you're Arthur Smith, you're wanting to anticipate what to call on that call sheet. And that was a little too far for Freiermuth as he tried to grab it with one hand. Wilson 7 of 15 for 61 yards. Definitely not his best showing. Wilson towards the right side. Finds Jefferson again. 8 yards this time around as he got the one-on-one matchup with Josh Newton. 3rd and 2. As Newton was getting his upper hand at first, but now, one-on-one is Van Jefferson with 3 straight catches for the Steelers. He subs out. Mike Williams is in. He's their deep threat. Calvin Austin in at the slot. He'll motion towards the left side, then back to the right. So Jefferson sits for this moment. Bengals rush free. Najee Harris first down after 5 yards. Little drop zone coverage here for the Bengals. And Wilson found a small hole towards the middle. So several offensive duds for the Steelers so far. But they want to get the machine rolling. Swing pass left side for Harris. Shakes off one man, Davis Gaber. Najee Harris is still going. He is past the first down marker, 12 yards. A lot of checkdowns on this drive, but they appear to be working. And it appears that Najee is hurt. Having a hard time getting up. Under 9 minutes to go as Najee Harris is hurt on that last play. And hold down. We'll step away for the moment. Najee Harris will enter the medical tent. He took a blow to the head from Jermaine Pratt. That may actually be a penalty for unnecessary roughness for hitting a defenseless player. So no penalty on Jermaine Pratt, despite the fact that Pratt hit Harris. Helmet-to-helmet contact. As Pat Freiermuth motions towards the right side. Back onto the play of action. Steelers at the Bengal 31. Russ delivers a strike to Pickens. At the 15-yard line. Incomplete. He got hit as he was about to catch it. That's the second time in which a ball he was about to catch. And if the ball was jarred free at the last moment, he makes the catch, then the ball was popped free. Third target for Pickens. 2 catches that he had, and the ball came loose at the end. Oh, bobble ball. Wilson gets it back. He's going to take off and run with it. He's going to slide and get the first down. Got something out of what initially appeared to be nothing. It was a bobbled snap off Zach Frazier. He's named the team's Rookie of the Year. A bad snap by Frazier. But got away at the last moment. Away from Chris Jenkins. And a first down at the Bengal 19. Edge of the red zone. Wilson towards the right side for Pat Freiermuth. He's open. Gets the edge. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. They are back in this game as Pat Freiermuth checks up and in. 9 plays, 65 yards on 2 minutes and 55 seconds of time. With Najee Harris being monitored over the medical tent, well, the no penalty call didn't matter that much to them. And the fact that George Pickens had that ball pop free, no biggie. Pat Freiermuth, here he is. He is wide open. Gets the advantage on Jordan Battle up top. Freiermuth was a wide open guy, and Battle was caught out of position. Extra point from Chris Boswell. He drills it. It's a 5-point game now. The Steelers are back in it. 19 yards to Pat Freiermuth. And with 8 minutes and 7 seconds to go, the Steelers need a defensive stop plus a touchdown to take the lead, which would be their first of the game. Back in a moment. Oh mama, Renegade is playing. An old tradition in Steelers history that stands the test of time. That dates back to when the Steelers made a furious comeback down 17 to defeat the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs in 2002. They were led by Tommy Maddox and Jerome Bettis. The go-ahead touchdown, which was the eventual game-winning touchdown from Chris Fuamatu Maefala. Acrisure Stadium is rocking tonight. The Terrible Towels flying up here and high. And against the divisional rival, Steelers are back in this. Isaiah Williams to return. And he gets blown to smithereens at the 26-yard lines at the right side of the field. At the 26. Pittsburgh back in it as Russell Wilson on a bad snap runs for it, but first down and sets up Pat Freiermuth at the right side for the Steelers' second touchdown of this game. Now, what more can they do here throughout? 8 minutes and 1 second to find out. Steelers must need a stop. Isaiah Williams in the game. He is staying on the field as T. Higgins is questionable to return. Burrow away for the pressure. Batted up and down. Cam Hayward with his 8th tipped ball of the season. Third of the game. League leader in that category, but he is one of the most intelligent defensive linemen in the league. He batted it up. The goal was to intercept himself. 8 sacks, 8 batted passes. Most of the NFL. His 3rd batted pass of this game. Fans love to see that. Steelers trail by 5. Shotgun set for the Bengals. That's their go-to formation. 2 left and 2 right. Fans are loud here. 4-man rush. Highsmith in pursuit of Burrow. Gets it off. Perfect strike. And on first down, Mike Gesicki, or did he drop that one? He got the hit. Steelers are saying it's incomplete. And this crowd silenced a bit now. Joe Burrow is inviting that noise. He likes the noise. Burrow just drops this one off. Ball is loose. It came out at the end. Peyton Wilson was there. It'll be a loss of 4, but if the whistle come out with 4, progress was stopped. So, Peyton Wilson was the one dragging it down. Herbert lost it, but quickly got it back. It was a complete pass. Loss of 4 on the play. Not a good time to complete a pass. 2 left and 2 right again. Once again, it's a shotgun set. Minka Fitzpatrick getting Cam Sutton to watch his man. Burrow towards the left side. Broken up. Great coverage by Joey Porter Jr. to stop Jamar Chase. It's a 3rd and 14. Steelers need a defensive stop. Bengals need a conversion here on 3rd and long. And they're double teaming TJ Watt and even triple teaming him on each turn. Sending out all the blockers on the right side so as to make sure he doesn't get anything. Cody Ford, Khalil Herbert, fend him off. 6:43 to go here in this 4th quarter. Empty set. You have 2 left and 3 right for Cincinnati. On the snap, Steelers rushing 4. Burrow towards the middle. And short the first down, very short of it, was Mike Gesicki. An ankle injury as T. Higgins still standing on the sideline. And Gesicki will walk off onto the sidelines as Ryan Rico will punt it. Steelers want to get back on top and get to the win column. Calvin Austin is back deep. He fumbled on his previous punt return, wanting to make up for it, wanting to get his confidence back up. Kick is up. Austin's back deep, backpedaling towards the 8-yard line. Stopped at the 10. Steelers have to go 90 yards for the end zone. And with 5:54 to go, Steelers must score a touchdown. So as we stay with you here throughout, and a good defensive stop there by the Steelers off that pass breakup from JPJ. His father, Joey Porter Sr., was a Super Bowl champion, part of several elite Steeler defenses. Russell Wilson on his last drive, 6 of 8. And the drives before that, he was 5 of 12. But he seems to have turned it on that last drive. Pittsburgh had to go 89 yards. And find Pater. Bengals have already used two timeouts. And that pass sailed over the head of Jaylen Warren. Trey Hendrickson may have gotten a hand on it. No injury designation for Najee Harris just yet. But he came out the medical tent, went inside the Steelers facilities right afterwards. Wilson delivers to Freiermuth immediately. Freiermuth gets about 8 yards. It'll be 3rd and short for the Steelers. Did he go back to the up-tempo offense once again? You want to exhaust that Bengal defense more and more. 3rd and 1 as Freiermuth got 9. It's going to be a pass play. Wilson has to escape the pressure. Throws this towards the left side. Well up high, and George Pickens tried to draw the contact from Cam Taylor-Britt. It'll be 4th down. There was pressure by Trey Hendrickson. And the punt team is going to come back out. Another 3 and out, and fans are restless. Pickens right at the snap airs with Wilson airing this towards the left side. It's going to be a quick out route left. Then Pickens goes downfield. Carlos Waitman to punt. 4th target on Pickens. Just 1 catch. And Isaiah Williams is not going to... Oh, it's a live ball! It's a live ball! The Steelers have it! What are the officials going to say it? Pittsburgh ball! It was a live ball, was touched by one of the upmen on the Bengals. That is the last thing that you need to have. It went off the foot of Jaden, so DJ Ivy. It was touched by the receiving team and recovered by the Steelers on Connor Hayward. The brother of Cam Hayward. .5:14 to go. And now each team has turned the ball over on special teams. The Steelers on a fumble. The Bengals on a punt that hits Ivy on the foot. Steelers recover. A 3 and out turns into a good field position play for Pittsburgh as the ball was touched. It hit Ivy up front. Connor Hayward recovers. The Bengals have had position for 37 minutes so far. Wilson, the Bengals rushing 4. And that's the 3rd drop on Pickens on the game. That has been an uncharacteristic night for him. The fans are also letting him know. Had another one right for him. That's the 5th time he's targeted. It's been a very bad game for him. Ball is at the Bengal 38. Shotgun set again. Cincinnati sends the blitz. At the right side, Freiermuth. Does he have the edge on Newton? Reaches out. 1st down. They'll mark him out a yard shy. It's Pickens. He had 3 drops. Just 1 catch. And he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Second one, he dropped it at the right side, which he had a deep shot. And then the 3rd one, he was at the ball jarred free off contact from Cam Taylor-Britt. And then you have this one. Had a wide open look, and he just dropped it. Cordero Patterson is in the game in the place of Jaylen Warren. Ball at the Bengal 28. Steelers trying to take the lead. Patterson runs towards the right side. Bunched up. First carry for Patterson on the game. Just gets a yard. One of the best return men in the NFL. First opportunity on the night. Steelers going over to hurry up. a versatile running back. He formerly was a wide receiver. Wilson is munched up by Hendrickson for 16th sack of the season. Second tonight. And now set the Steelers up on 3rd and 15. Nowhere to go for Jeff Russ. He'll be 3rd and long for the Steelers. This will be huge for the Bengals. On the left side, Dan Moore gets beaten out. And Wilson could not step away from the pressure. Nothing there for him. He made the big play earlier on. 16.5 sacks for Hendrickson, which is leading the league. 3 receivers towards the left side. Only 1 guy towards the right. Bengals once again blitz. Bengals waiting for a flag. This is a jump ball and it's incomplete. Mike Williams had it broken up for him. But there is a flag down. Right as Russell Wilson let the ball go. It is against the Steelers. It looks like Cordero Patterson, there was a hold and it was visible. And with that penalty, the Steelers get taken out of field goal range. Was grabbed on the shoulder. It was a clear hold towards the shoulder of Akeem Davis-Gaber. The logical thinking was to decline the penalty, but Zach Taylor wants to accept it so that the Steelers don't have anywhere to go on 3rd and 25. A field goal makes this a 2-point game. Mike Tomlin made the decision to try for the field goal. And now it'll be 3rd and 25. In this close game with heavy implications in the AFC North. Pittsburgh trying to put away the Bengals. The catch, and the Steelers get back within range. At the 36-yard line, this will likely be a 54-yard attempt. It'll be a gain of 7. Short passing play. So they accepted a holding call. And Chris Boswell's going to try a 54-yarder. On field goals of at least 50, he is the most accurate in NFL history. 42 of 51. This is from the right hash. Steelers need a field goal, plus a defensive stop. This kick from 54 is good. Just spectacular from the Wizard of Oz, and it's a 2-point game. The Steelers, on a cold and windy night, need to get a stop on the Cincinnati Bengals. He says the highest percentage since the merger. Then now the Steelers can win with a field goal if they get the ball back. He has such a groove and a knack for long field goals. And Russell Wilson accomplished one part. The defense needs to accomplish part 2 to get a defensive stop. A 3 and out or a takeaway would do a lot of wonders. Boswell's ready up. No onside kick has been declared. The Bengals clinched a 7th seed of a win plus losses from the Dolphins and the Broncos. The Steelers clinched a 5th seed of a win or a Chargers loss. Chargers clinched a 5th seed of a win and a Steelers loss. The Bengals are eliminated if they lose tonight or if the Broncos and or Dolphins win. Returnable ball for Isaiah Williams, trying to milk some more clock out. Williams towards the left. Williams has some running room. Williams through to 44. A nice return for Isaiah Williams, and the Steelers may want to get a takeaway. That is the better route for them. The story of this game has been Joe Burrow, who is 36 of 45. Running the clock will be ideal for the Bengals. 34-42, 268 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. 4 red zone drives to the Bengals, just 1 touchdown off of them. The Bengals looking to run the ball, they do, and they get 2 yards. Immediately a timeout by the Steelers. with 2:25 to go. That's the first of 3 for them. The Bengals have 1 timeout left. And the Steelers have the 2-minute warning to look towards as well. It's getting played to their favor. And T. Higgins not on the field. It's going to make things all the more challenging. 4 field goals, 2 punts, 1 pick in their last 8 drives for the Bengals. Their only touchdown came on their opening drive. They've outgained the Steelers 321 to 177. Steelers trying to lock in defensively and get a takeaway here. The Bengals dominate time possession. And they're not hesitating. Chase motions right. Probably another shotgun run, it seems. No, it's going to be a pass towards the right. Chase. Jamar Chase. Shy at the first down. Another timeout used. And a massive first down for the Steelers. Cody Ford, questionable of a chest injury. He's back out there. Chase got 5 on that last play. The Steelers gained their second timeout. Burrow, 37 of 46, 277 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Chase, 10 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Hendrickson with 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 4 quarterback hits. That's been the story so far for Cincinnati tonight to keep their swim playoff hopes alive. 4 hits on Russell Wilson for Trey Hendrickson. In these situations, the Bengals could excel as such. Chase with Sutton following his tail. They switch the coverages up. 3rd and 3. Burrow's going to pass here on 3rd down. Being chased by Keanu Benton. Burrow trips up, and he's down. Benton with his first sack of the game. An absolutely massive 3rd down, and the Steelers took full advantage. Benton, in a 2-point game with his first sack of the season, and none bigger than that one for Benton to get his first sack this season. He got through the offensive line, which leads us to the 2-minute warning. Steelers can win on a field goal. We'll be back in a moment. Despite getting outgained by over 100 yards, the Steelers can still win this game of a field goal. The Bengals outgained the Steelers 3 and 15 to 177 total yards, 21 to 15 on first downs. The Steelers 3 of 10 on 3rd down. But Pittsburgh will be getting back the ball in a 2-point game. A hard-fought battle between 2 hated AFC North rivals. Ryan Rico will punt to Calvin Austin. Must-win situation for the Steelers if they want to get to the 5 seed and go on a trip to Houston to face the Texans. If the Steelers lose, they'll either go to Houston or Baltimore depending on the outcome of the Chargers-Raiders game. The Bengals need a win plus losses from the Broncos and Dolphins to stay alive. Austin shakes off one defender on the punt return, moves up front and gets back to the 25. We'll have to mark down where field goal range is for Chris Boswell. He'll get to at least the 38. At the very least. In games decided by one score, the Bengals lost on a DPI off Dejon Anthony, the game winner, and Harrison Butker. Evan McPherson hooked a field goal wide right. A 2-point conversion try missed for the Bengals on the 2 games against the Ravens. But last week, it was T. Higgins, overtime winner. With 1 minute to go in the extra session, the Steelers start for their own 24. Can they play spoiler to the Bengals' playoff hopes? Wilson will look left and right, being chased. And Harris, erroneous catch. Immediately as Akeem Davis gave her. It was an erroneous catch. But as they go backwards 2 yards, not what they wanted to begin this drive. 2nd and 12. Empty set for Wilson. Bengals send 4. Sends it towards the left side for Freiermuth. He's tackled in bounds. Trying to get out of bounds, the clock continues to roll. 80 seconds to go. Steelers need to go towards field goal range. 3rd down and 10. 3rd down and 9 actually, as Hendrickson will sub out. Wilson will look towards the middle. Hold in. Towards the 44-yard line is Freiermuth. And immediately knowing the situation, Freiermuth gets the ball towards the officials. Immediately the intermediate part of the field being the crucial factor. Steelers taking a lot of time with this next play. Will they spike it? No, they will not. Wilson will need more of this. Wilson forced towards the right side. Hold down. Did not get out of bounds. They need to hurry up. This is not a good decision as they are keeping the play in bounds. And they need a lot of yardage to go on this. Wilson with 23. Wilson is going to be sacked at the 40. They have to use the timeout. For whatever reason, Russell Wilson ran it towards the right. He tucked it, took the hit, and took a lot of time off the clock. All their plays, there were tackles inbounds, nothing given for it. Given for them. Collapsing the pocket, 3rd and 12. 16 and a half sacks for Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals. The rest of the Bengals, 18 and a half sacks. And now, with 20 seconds to go, the Steelers need to throw towards the outside where space is very limited. And 3rd and 12, they need to get to about the 38-yard line. So at least 20 yards through the air on their next play. Here's Wilson. This could be the play that decides the game. Towards the right side. Oh no, it's Pickens who was open. And it was over his head. Good call. That time it was open. Last chance to dance here for the Steelers. Pickens was wide open. He could not get it up through the slot on the right side as it was out of his reach. Boy, was that huge. 6 target, just 1 catch, and no yards. 4th and 12, last chance for Pittsburgh. 15 seconds left. Not able to connect that time around. Still a 1 catch for Pickens and no yards. On 4th and 12. Zach Taylor notices his defense. He outsources and now a timeout taken by him. 3rd and final timeout by the Bengals. Their first 2 timeouts of this half came in the 3rd quarter. Frustration at a maximum. Mike Tomlin and George Pickens, knowing the situation at hand, and with 15 seconds to go, this is essentially your last chance. If the Steelers lose, they will likely slide to the 6th seed and travel to Baltimore. Spencer Anderson in the game at right guard. 4 wide here. Bengals playing prevent defense. Russell Wilson knowing the situation. 15 seconds to go. Wilson for the game. Off the hands of Freiermuth. And the Bengals are still alive. The one play that the Steelers need to make comes from Freiermuth, and he drops a rare dot for him. Akeem Davis gave her once again in coverage, and Freiermuth had it on a silver platter. The ball was right there to be had for him, and he could not keep that going. And that was a drop that sealed the win for the Bengals. They will end the year winning their final 5 games. And now the Bengals need to wait on the Broncos and the Dolphins tomorrow. The Steelers lose their 4th straight. Bengals win 19-17. They'll wait on the Broncos and the Dolphins on some of the worst clock management the Steelers have had. And now the Bengals have a chance at playoffs on an improbable berth, pending if everything goes their way tomorrow. After beginning the year 4-8, and coming into this game, there was some hope to be had. And there was for the Bengals. And a hard-fought AFC North matchup. And to end off the year winning 5 straight. So as we end off this game, we look at the final tallies. So the Bengals outgained the Steelers 315 to 156 in total yards. Well, actually, 314 to 193 in total yards. 21 to 16 in first downs at the end. Joe Burrow, 34-42, 268 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Jamar Chase, 9 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. That was the opening drive touchdown. Russell Wilson finished 11-20 for 104 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 12 carries, 36 yards, and a touchdown. George Pickens targeted 6 times in the game with just 1 catch. And that is all from the Steel City. That is all. Bengals win 19-17. I am Alec Nava saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Winner takes the top seed in the NFC and the NFC North along with home field advantage for the entire playoffs. Good night, everyone.